The latest outbreak of Republican insanity is in the Arizona state legislature, where a bill has passed the House and is moving to the Senate that would allow an employer to fire a woman for using birth control. It would actually allow that. And in order for her to obtain birth control to be covered, the woman would have to prove in Arizona that to her boss, prove it specifically to her boss, that she is actually using birth control only for a medical condition. All of this madness has inspired Ohio State Democratic Senator Nina Turner to introduce a bill in the Ohio Senate that would require men who want Viagra to have one of their sexual partners certify that there's a problem, undergo a stress test, and meet with a sex therapist, among many other delightfully embarrassing requirements. Joining me now is the woman who wrote that bill, Ohio State Senator and Minority Whip Nina Turner, and from Washington, D.C., New Hampshire Democratic Senator Jeanne Shaheen. Thank you both for joining me tonight.
Thank you, Lawrence.
Thank you.
Senator Turner, first to you. With all due respect, this is the single funniest piece of legislation I have ever read. I want you to brief the audience on some of the requirements you have in here. Men will have to prove, it seems to me, a great deal that they will actually not want to prove in order to obtain Viagra.
Well, Lawrence, I want to make sure, because for far too long, female legislators have been abdicating their responsibility to make sure that we show men the same type of love in the reproductive health category as they've shown us over the years. So I certainly want to make sure that we guide men to make the right decisions. So included in this bill, besides the things that you just named, is that they will have to have a deep and long conversation with their physician about the possible side effects and risk of such drugs, and including alternative therapies such as natural remedies or celibacy. They would also have to undergo a cardiac stress test every 90 days, as long as they are on the medication. And then they would also have to make sure that that record would stay in their medical files, just so that they would have a keen understanding of all the risk associated, possible risk, I should say, associated with erectile dysfunction drugs.
It sounds like you want to just take better care of them. A stress test every 90 days? I mean, that sounds like you're just keeping an eye out for them.
Just trying to guide them, Lawrence, because obviously they can't make the right decisions without government telling them what to do.
Exactly. What pushed you to the point where you said, I have to get out there with this bill about Viagra? There's a point that I have to make here because you were pushed to it. Has it been coming from what you've been seeing in Washington, what you saw in Arizona, these other states that are taking these actions?
All of the above, Lawrence. All of these regressive tactics that our right-wing Republicans are taking, particularly males who don't have a clue about what it takes to be a woman. Obviously, they have some type of hate going on with women. I would say to men who have mothers, men who have daughters, men who just love and respect women, that this track that we're going on in this country is absolutely outrageous. So yes, I was motivated by the greater sex. And since poverty doesn't matter to them and educating our children certainly doesn't matter to them, only the regulation of a woman's womb, I thought, my goodness, we need to spread the love to men.